Well, congrats to both of you on another incredible season, really incredible season
Thank
of The Lord of the
you.
Rings. I assume it's finally great to be able to, not only see the reception that it's gotten, but also be able to talk about everything regarding the season.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it is.
nice.
It makes a difference. I have got so used to not talking about things that now I think almost everything I can talk about.
Yeah, well, I'm really cagey with my family about stuff that just I don't need to be cagey about. It's gotten too intense for me to chill out about it. But no, it is lovely. We feel so full of secrets before it comes out. So it's nice.
Is there one specific thing that you both wanted to talk about for this season but couldn't for a long time?
I always wanted to talk about me killing Celebrimbor, but I mean, which is a weird one because kind of
Yeah.
everyone knows that I kill him, and everyone that like knows about the books knows
Yeah.
that I kill him, but I couldn't say it. And also, it was really fun because we got to do me putting him up on the pole and everything.
Yeah.
Um, but I couldn't talk about that.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to talk to people about that as well because I was just like, they are not prepared at all for that. I thought that watching that, I was so kind of
And
felt
Char
really sorry for the audience
yeah.
because you love Celebrimbor so much
Mm.
and you can't fathom that someone could be so cruel to him.
Oh,
So
I understand.
I was also really excited when everyone knew that Tom Bombadil was going to be in it because I was super excited about that and that it was Rory Kinnear as well. I was like,
Mm.
um, but yeah, there's always lots.
So, the both of you are pretty much kept apart for the entirety of the season up until the finale, where you go head to head. I'm wondering, just to start, how did the both of you wanted to approach that reunion between Sauron and Galadriel?
Well,
It
I
was.
think they're both very hungry for it in different ways.
Mhm.
So they're kind of also weirdly united in their meeting.
Mhm.
Um,
It was kind of like Sauron showing her, like, well,
mm,
you made the wrong choice. Like, you should have hung out with me
yeah,
because
looking pretty
I'm
fantastic
looking,
now.
I've
Yeah.
glammed, I've got a nice bow in my hair, got a nice black outfit. But also, but no, but in all seriousness, he's trying to, still saying I approached it from the point of view of like, you can still join me. The door is still open, was the key to that
Mm,
scene. It was like, being like, you have one more chance.
mm,
And it was an interesting one. I don't know how you found it, but because it was so physical, it
mm,
was like you kind of, I didn't want us to get caught up in worrying about all the action and fighting because there was a real scene beneath that. And I think
yeah.
that's what the stunt team were amazing in trying to help us bring the actual scene out
Mm.
of the action.
Yeah, and I feel like Galadriel was battling with Sauron, but just as much kind of battling with herself.
Mm.
And that was kind of really fun that kind of she
Mm.
she doesn't have faith within herself at the beginning of that scene and kind of finding belief in that she can kind of prevail in goodness was really fun. But also just as an actress, it was just incredible to just act opposite Charlie. Like I loved Charlie's Halbrand. I thought it was just brilliant, like this kind of lovable rogue that we all fell in love with. And to see just this complete transformation that also still had the essence of kind of the character that we'd seen glimpses of at the end of episode 8 of season 1 was just as an actress really exciting for me. So it was very easy because I was acting opposite kind of this very frightening alien
It's
person.
very frightening alien. Thanks.
It was cool. And it was lovely to be back with Charlie.
Yeah, I was going to say that, Galadriel in that scene, she really wrestles with her inner feelings, and Sauron seems to really tap into that.
Yeah.
At some point, I think she says, at some point, we are not alike, we never were. It was just another one of your illusions. Sauron replies, not all of it. I'm wondering if, was that an important element that you wanted to showcase and also play with in that scene?
Yeah.
Yes, because I think I'm really fascinated by this idea that kind of the elves are not just purely good. They have
Mhm.
um they can behave wildly and rashly and badly.
Yeah.
And kind of her accepting the kind of grayness of her character is part of her being able to kind of then choose to be good and choose to be a source of light
Mm.
and hope. So yeah, that bit was really important because he's not wrong, but she's not going to use that in the way that he thinks she will.
Charlie, did you want to add anything?
Well, yeah, I think it was just that also from his point of view, she chose to do a lot of the stuff that like it wasn't all my manipulation. Like it is within you. You want this. Like
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah. You know, it's you're responsible. It's not my fault.
Well, yeah, she does have to take responsibility. She made a mistake, and that's horrible. And just also kind of her mistakes just like have had the most awful consequences. I mean, yeah, she's been ousted from the friendship group. It's been terrible. Yeah. But it was also really fun as well that she is very inspired by Adar. She's just met this person who's turned who's given up a ring of power. Someone who she saw as kind of having no redeemable qualities and being kind of corrupt and awful. So her mind's really being broadened from this kind of quite kind of black and white thinking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there is a fleeting moment in the fight scene where Sauron turns back into Halbrand, and even also Galadriel. I'm wondering if you can both talk about working on that specific moment.
Yeah, it was funny because Sauron was a bit more of a glam Halbrand. I think he was
very glam.
A bit more like he had a bit of a curl in his hair.
That's how Galadriel sees him.
Yeah, exactly. My stubble was a bit shorter because I was playing Avatar at the same time, so they had to paint it on, or I had a weekend to grow it. So it was really not. It was quite pathetic, that stubble. But yeah, for me that was about just trying to, again, open the door, trying to get through to her and be like, well, remember this, I'm just the same guy. And then I don't know what, I was actually very intrigued by your impression of me.
Oh yeah. Why?
No, it was really
it was
good.
rude?
No, it was really good, but I was like, is that what I'm doing?
I hadn't really seen much of your Avatar.
It was really good. I loved it.
But I liked the kind of sense of that there's a void within him.
Yeah.
So I tried to get a bit of that.
Really cool.
But I mean, it's just been such a feast for us. We get to play so many different characters. It's been so much fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love the Halbrand bit because he was a very powerful illusion that she put such kind of, that was really confronting for her because that is just the face of all her biggest mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was there a lot of training and rehearsing that went into that specific scene?
Yeah, we had a lot of training, which was really fun. I mean, for both of our characters, so much of kind of their existence is that they are physically as well as kind of magically and mind powerful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was kind of months of training, wasn't it? And some of it separately with the stunt team and then coming together towards the end and putting it all together. But there was a lot of preparation for the scene because there was so many different locations and so much jumping off rocks and kicking. Yeah. And
it was really fun for me in terms of, because me and Charlie are unfortunately in stature quite different.
Aww.
And finding like moves that she obviously is very strong, but finding moves that kind of would be believable for kind of my stature against your stature to be able to kind of outwit each other.
Yeah.
I've always been obsessed with judo because I'm like, a tiny person can throw a huge person. And so that kind of also felt like part of their story.
Yeah.
That she kind of was at that moment small but mighty against his kind of huge amount of power.
Yeah. And particularly seeing how much she grows in strength in the fight and how much Sauron underestimates her as it goes on and on.
Awesome. Well, it was really great talking to both of you today on your work in The Lord of the Rings of Power Season 2. Congratulations once again. I mean, this season is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Good
Thank
to
you
see
very
you.
much. Thanks.
Yeah.